Hello everyone, it's Agnes from Just a Perfect Piece. I have another project for you today. This one is actually Magnolia Market inspired. This project was literally hunting me down for a few months already. I've seen that at my local Home Goods, but obviously I didn't get it for some reason, and now I just cannot stop thinking. But finally, I got all my pieces together. As you can see, is I do have I picked this all up in Michael's. I do have a thick wooden circle. I do have the nice but very simple stand. And then I do have obviously popsicle sticks. You know me that I do not measure things, but this time I did actually decided that I am going to keep my little details that I'm going to cut from both ends of my popsicle sticks to around 2.5 inches. You can see is I'm using the pieces as my template, but I have to tell you, to make sure that my cut is straight, I simply decided to mark this all off with the pencil. It is much easier, and of course I know where I'm going to be cutting. And just like that, my popsicle sticks are all cut. It actually did not take me a long time to do it. So now it's time to add some colors. The trays that I've seen at my Home Goods had all different colors of scallop details. They were some metallic, some were just simply painted black. So I decided to use my spray paint, Rust-Oleum spray paint, and paint them brown. And of course, I need to add some color to my base. So I chose to add the first coat, just simple acrylic paint, just to cover this all up. And I am positive right now you're thinking, oh, you should have maybe leave the original tone, because the wood is actually pretty good. But for my purposes, I actually, at least for what I have in mind, I do want to keep it lighter. I am literally treating my first coat of that acrylic paint as my sort of a primer. So of course I'm doing it on both sides, and then of course I'm doing that on the edges. But I do not know if you noticed that I do have that little hole that it was actually, that wooden circle was meant to create the tier tray. But obviously I'm not making that one. So I do have the wood sparkling that I do wanted to use for that purposes. So all what you, I actually do love to work with this material because it's pink. So my goal here is to fill up the opening and on both sides obviously, and then when the material dries I'm going to slightly sand it off or scrape it off with the piece of the popsicle stick that I had on the side. Oh, here we go, I'm going with my popsicle stick and make it smooth. I love to work with actual this product because right now it looks pink and it looks like a hot mess over here, but I promise with the time, of course, or with the heat gun, this whole thing is beautifully drying white. And as you can see is I've added a second coat of my chalk paint that I'm going to, of course, add it in the description box. And it seems like my top is all good. I just need to make sure that my spackling is dry. As you can see is the tray top looks actually pretty good. So now it's time to do the same drill on the back, paint it, because everything seems to be dry. Add one coat and dry it up, and then we can start to decorate. Because my scallops that I just spray painted on the side is on the darker side, I decided to add a little bit of the highlights and dry paint with my folk art brown paint. It's another favorite one, just all around to add a little bit more of a details to the edges and just right on the top. So it is actually pretty fun process. You really do not need much of a paint. You just simply literally wiping your brush. I'm going to do the same thing to my stand, and I think I'll be happy with that. Of adding highlights to a stand because it does have additional profile. I love it. It just adds so much of an interest there. Oops, I just did too much, but that's a quick fix. Look what happens. I am going to use my slightly wet paper towel and simply wipe it all around all around the circle to make sure that that darker shade is nicely distributed all around. And I actually see the accident made it look even better. Okay, so now look at this. I do have my brown scallops painted, and as you notice, the other side is black, simply because I could not make again a decision. But guess what? Little things here and there decided for me. So the scallops are going to be brown. So what I'm going to do is I do have a Gorilla Glue that I am going to simply install them all around the perimeter of my circle right underneath. To add a little bit more of stability to my scallops, I decided to slightly overlap them all around. And of course, I am going to support them later with some kind of twine or rope, just to add additional also interest. Portion is a little bit time consuming because obviously I'm using the Gorilla Glue, hot Gorilla Glue. So that means is my lines of glue cannot be too long because obviously it is drying pretty quick. So I need to install the little pieces, apply little pieces at the little strips at the time of the hot glue to make sure that by the time I'm ready to install the new piece, that doesn't cool off. You'll be surprised how sturdy those pieces are in there. I mean, look at this. I am actually leaning my whole entire circle and they do not budge. I am so proud of myself. Look at this. I'm only left with one little piece of the popsicle that I did not use. Look at me. This is just amazing. Okay, so now I do want to add additional support, and I do have this pretty twine. I actually love it. At the beginning, I was thinking I'm going to braid a twine together. You know, I love that detail. But then I just decided to go for simplicity as Magnolia cake stand look like. So application of that rope, first of all, is much easier because you can apply a bigger pieces of glue without worrying that it's going to dry out. So as you notice, I've done my rope on both ends, in the front and on the back, and now it's time to glue my stand right in the middle. So here we go. I'm again eyeballing it again, adding a lot of the Gorilla Glue, putting a little bit of a pressure, and voila, my cake stands. I am so happy actually. Look at that pretty detail all around. Could not be happy the way it turned out. So now it's time to add some pictures. I could not be more pleased with the way my cake stand turned out, and I know that I will be on the lookout for more those wooden circles to create more at different sizes and different heights like Magnolia Market has them. So I really hope that I inspired you to make one for yourself, and I really hope that you enjoyed this project and you're going to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notification every time I bring some new project to my channel. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.